Have you ever paused to wonder why certain problems in your life seem to repeat, no matter how hard you try to escape them? Why some emotions rise like unstoppable waves, while others seem completely foreign to you? Why you find peace in certain places or activities while restlessness haunts you in others? These are not accidents, nor are they merely the result of your current circumstances. Ancient yogic masters, and my beloved Guru Paramhansa Yogananda, revealed a profound truth, that each human being is born with a unique set of inner tendencies, a collection of mental and karmic patterns, known as a gan. These unseen forces quietly influence your choices, thoughts, emotions, and destiny from within, without you even realizing it. Yogananda beautifully explained that a man who does not recognize his inner tendencies is like a boat without a rudder, caught helplessly in the stormy waves of life. He moves in circles, facing the same troubles again and again, and wonders why peace eludes him. But the moment you become aware of your gan, when you truly understand the nature of the energies you carry, half of your life struggles will immediately begin to dissolve. You will no longer chase after things that were never meant for you, nor waste time fighting battles you were never meant to fight. In this video, I invite you to walk with me on this sacred inner journey. We'll uncover what gan truly means, why it's essential to recognize your inner tendencies, how to identify them in your daily life, and most importantly, how this single piece of wisdom can lift the unnecessary weight of confusion and suffering off your shoulders. Stay with me, dear seeker, this could be the wisdom your soul was silently yearning for. In the ancient yogic traditions, the word gan holds a deep and subtle meaning. It is often translated as a group or assembly, but it goes far beyond its ordinary use. Paramhansa Yogananda taught that within each one of us exists a unique combination of inner tendencies, a set of mental habits, emotional patterns, and karmic influences that quietly shape the way we think, feel, and act. This invisible collection is what the sages called a gan. It is like the unseen wind that directs the boat of your life, determining which shores you are drawn towards and which storms you repeatedly encounter. Each soul, born into this vast universe, carries within it a distinct gan, tendencies gathered over countless lifetimes. These tendencies dictate your preferences, your fears, your instincts, and your repeated patterns of behavior. You might have noticed that while one person finds deep peace in solitude, another feels restless without constant activity. Some are naturally drawn toward spiritual wisdom, while others chase material success. One mind is effortlessly calm, another perpetually restless. Yogananda explained that these differences are not merely the result of upbringing or environment, but the expression of the gan a soul is born with. It is important to understand that your gan is neither good nor bad, it simply is. It reflects the qualities you have cultivated through your past actions, thoughts, and desires. Some tendencies uplift you, while others limit your growth. The wise seeker does not waste time denying or suppressing them, but seeks first to recognize them. As Yogananda beautifully said, when you know the nature of your tendencies, you begin to understand the nature of your own destiny. And with this understanding comes the first taste of freedom. Why is it so important to know your gan, your inner tendencies? Paramhansa Yogananda emphasized this with great clarity. He explained that most of life's suffering doesn't come from external circumstances, but from inner conflict, when your true nature longs for one thing, and your mind, driven by unconscious tendencies, chases after another. Imagine a fish trying to climb a tree or a bird attempting to swim deep in the ocean. Both will fail, not because they lack effort, but because they are not meant for that path. In the same way, when you live in ignorance of your own gan, you waste precious years of your life struggling to become what you are not. Yogananda often said, "A man must stop trying to live according to the expectations of others, and instead discover the silent language of his own soul." When you understand your tendencies, half of your confusion in life dissolves. You no longer measure your worth against others, nor do you blame yourself for failing in areas where your nature was never meant to excel. You begin to walk your own path, calmly and confidently, guided by your soul's true inclination. More importantly, knowing you're gone allows you to avoid the invisible traps life sets before you. Certain situations, relationships, or habits naturally disturb the balance of your mind and energy because they do not align with your nature. Recognizing this, you can consciously choose environments, practices, and companions that nourish your inner peace instead of disturbing it. In this way, understanding you're gone is not about limiting yourself, it is about aligning with your authentic self. It simplifies life, reveals the path of least resistance, and most importantly, brings lasting inner contentment. The next natural question, dear seeker, is, how do you identify you're gone? How can you uncover these invisible tendencies quietly shaping your life? Paramhansa Yogananda offered simple, yet profoundly effective ways to recognize your inner nature. The ancient sages of India classified tendencies into broad groups, which they called ghan, based on the dominant qualities or gunas within a person. These primary ghan types are Deva ghan, inclined toward purity, peace, wisdom, and spiritual service; Manushya ghan, drawn to worldly duties, relationships, ambition, and responsibility; and Rakshasa ghan, dominated by aggression, selfishness, greed, or material indulgence. But these are not rigid labels meant for judgment. As Yogananda said, they are maps for self-understanding. The purpose of identifying your ghan is to recognize what energies operate within you and where they lead you. Begin by observing what naturally attracts you. When you are left alone, what does your mind seek? Solitude and silence. Pleasure and excitement. Work and responsibility. What kind of company makes you feel uplifted? Saintly people, worldly companions, or power-seeking individuals? Notice your emotional tendencies. Are you quick to anger, easily content, or prone to anxiety? Even your dreams hold clues, for in sleep, your deeper tendencies express themselves freely. Pay close attention to situations that repeatedly disturb or uplift you. Yogananda encouraged seekers to watch themselves calmly, like a wise elder observing a child's play. Without judgment, see what draws you toward peace and what pulls you into restlessness. These simple acts of honest, daily self-observation gradually reveal the pattern of your ghan. Remember, dear soul, you are not limited to these tendencies, but knowing them is the first step to transcending them. As a doctor diagnoses an illness before offering a cure, so must a seeker first know the forces within. Now you may ask, how does simply knowing your ghan solve life's problems? The answer, dear seeker, lies in the way inner awareness changes how you move through the world. Paramhansa Yogananda beautifully explained that most people suffer not because of the world itself, but because they live in disharmony with their own nature. A man whose soul longs for silence but forces himself into noisy crowds will never find peace. A woman born with a devotional heart will only feel restless chasing material wealth. When you understand your ghan, when you see clearly the tendencies that shape your nature, you stop making choices that conflict with your inner self. Half of life's problems, Yogananda said, come from unconscious habits. We repeat the same mistakes because we do not know the forces within us that draw us to them. But once you recognize, this is my tendency, you become free to either accept it or gradually change it. For example, if you know your mind is easily disturbed by anger, you will avoid situations that provoke it. If you recognize a tendency for laziness, you can gently discipline yourself before it takes hold. Moreover, by understanding you're gone, you stop comparing your journey to others. You realize that every soul is traveling its own path, guided by different inner forces and karmas. The pressure to meet worldly expectations or imitate others fades away. You start living more simply, more consciously, choosing relationships, work, and practices that uplift rather than disturb your peace. In this way, knowledge of your gone acts like a lamp in a dark room. It reveals the obstacles, shows the clear path, and prevents you from stumbling unnecessarily. And with that clarity, so many problems resolve themselves without struggle. You may be wondering now, am I forever bound by my gone? Can these inner tendencies be changed? And the answer, dear soul, is one of the most beautiful truths of the spiritual path. Yes, you can rise beyond your tendencies. While it is true that you are born with a certain gone, shaped by the karmas and desires of many past lives, Yogananda lovingly taught that no soul is permanently imprisoned by its past. The divine within you is greater than any tendency, habit, or limitation. Yogananda often said, man is not a slave of circumstances. He is the master of his destiny, for he has the power to control his thoughts and habits. Though you may have inherited restless, fearful, or worldly tendencies, you are also gifted with the power of awareness and choice. By understanding your gone, you gain the ability to gently reshape your nature and cultivate higher, purer qualities within yourself. This transformation happens not through harsh struggle, but through regular, sincere spiritual practice. Meditation, especially deep techniques like Kriya Yoga, gradually burns away the seeds of old tendencies. Daily introspection helps you notice and gently correct harmful habits. Affirmations and prayer uplift the mind's vibrations, replacing lower thoughts with divine ones. Most importantly, keeping the company of saintly souls, whether in person or through their words and teachings, steadily transforms your inner atmosphere. Yogananda reminded seekers, the strongest prison is the one you do not see. But once you shine the light of awareness upon it, the walls begin to dissolve. No matter how powerful your gone may seem, it is temporary. Your true nature is eternal, pure, and free, waiting patiently for you to remember. As we come to the heart of this wisdom, what was Paramhansa Yogananda's final guidance regarding the understanding of one's gone? His message was clear and compassionate: seek not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. Life is not a race to become like others, but a sacred journey to discover and perfect the unique divine essence within you. Yogananda often reminded his disciples, you are not what the world has told you. You are a spark of the infinite, temporarily veiled by tendencies gathered through many lives. Knowing you're gone is not about labeling yourself as good or bad, fortunate or unfortunate. It is about seeing with clarity what energies move within you, and what influences quietly guide your choices and emotions. This wisdom does not weigh you down, it liberates you. Because once you recognize these tendencies, you stop being blindly controlled by them. You can begin, step by gentle step, to guide those energies upward, transforming restless habits into calmness, anger into compassion, selfishness into service. Yogananda's loving counsel was, be patient with yourself. Tendencies formed over many lives do not vanish overnight. But with steady awareness, sincere effort, and God's grace, you will rise beyond them. He urged seekers to stop imitating others and instead listen deeply to their own soul's nature. When you align your life with your true inner being, peace naturally follows. And in the end, you will discover that even these tendencies are but passing clouds before the vast, unchanging sky of your true self. The divine in you is eternally free, untouched by any gone. All that remains is for you to remember, and to live in the joyous awareness of that truth. Dear seeker, as we reach the close of this sacred conversation, I invite you to pause for a moment and reflect on what you've heard today. Life becomes profoundly beautiful when you stop fighting against yourself and begin to live in harmony with your soul's true nature. When you recognize you're gone, the tendencies and patterns quietly shaping your life, you no longer wander aimlessly through confusion and conflict. Instead, you walk your path with clarity, simplicity, and peace. Remember, the purpose of knowing you're gone is not to bind yourself with new labels or limitations, but to gently guide your inner energies toward the highest light. As Paramhansa Yogananda lovingly taught, the kingdom of God is within you, waiting for you to remove the veils of forgetfulness. Awareness is the first step, and with every act of mindful living, those old tendencies begin to loosen their grip. If this wisdom touched your heart, I invite you to share this video with someone you care about, for who among us is not seeking a little more clarity, peace, and self-understanding in these restless times? And if you wish to continue walking this inner path together, I warmly welcome you to subscribe to this channel. Here, we explore the timeless teachings of great masters like Yogananda, and how they can transform our modern lives. I would also love to hear from you. What tendencies have you recognized within yourself? What insights arose for you while listening today? Share them in the comments below. Your reflections may help another seeker too. Until we meet again, dear soul, walk gently, live consciously, and always remember, you are far greater than your habits, your tendencies, or your past. The light of God shines within you.